All right, guys, welcome to day 2. We're just going to do a short PowerPoint today and a very short assignment, only 2 questions. So let's go ahead and get started. So we just want to talk a little bit about how humans started to control their environment around them and how they tried to control nature. And this was through the use of agriculture. It allowed them to increase their population and kind of become more settled. So they weren't nomads wandering around after the herds. They were settled in one location. So they needed certain tools to survive. Paleolithic, which remember is Old Stone Age or the Ice Age, they were nomads. They moved in search of food. They hunted animals, collected food, so we call them hunters and gatherers. Cro-Magnons had more than 100 specialized tools. One of them was called the bone needle, and they used it to sew. So these are actual bones they used from those people that had died, and they used them to sew, whether it be hides from animals or other materials that they found in nature. They also used it for artistic expression. You can see they created art with cave paintings, animal sculptures, rock engravings, and paintings. Here you see a jewelry of seashells, lion teeth, bear claws, and they also used polished beads that they got from the mammoth tusks. During the Neolithic Revolution, however, we have this agricultural revolution about 10,000 years ago. It was actually done on accident, where women had accidentally scattered seeds and then discovered crops growing later on. So this is really our shift from food gathering to food production. Now, there's a couple of things that had to take place in order for this to happen. The rising temperature, so we're no longer in the Ice Age, is a key reason. If we were still in the Ice Age or the Neolithic Age, we couldn't grow crops. Also, they had a longer growing season. They had drier land for wild grasses, which you see the picture below on my PowerPoint here of wild grass, that protects the seed and the ground from becoming barren. So it led to a constant source of food for their population. The earliest methods were a slash and burn method of farming, where they would clear the land by cutting and burning all the trees. And then farmers would move to a new area after a year or two so that they wouldn't completely deplete the nutrients in the soil. They'd come back for different seasons. They also learned to domesticate or tame wild animals so that they had a constant source of food. Hunters and farmers tamed horses, dogs, goats, pigs. That was all on their diet at the time, plus they could get other things from those animals. We know that in Iraq, present-day Iraq, where people lived about 9,000 years ago, we've found evidence of wild grass, goats, pigs, sheep, horses that were near there. And farming developed in Africa, China, Mexico, Central America, Peru. Different crops developed during that time. And I'm going to show you a map real quick of that. We're going to come back to this map later on, but you can see that sorghum was really, really common in this area at this time. In Africa, sorghum's right here. Sorghum is kind of like a version, a hybrid of wheat or corn put together. You've got grapes up here that were near Italy. And then you've got cotton over here in India. Bananas were really, really popular in China. They got shipped everywhere from China. And if we were to go over to South America, we would find potatoes. Obviously, in Asia, the biggest product there is going to be rice. Soybeans are also very big in Asia, which is something that we grow here in Indiana. So you can see potatoes are here in South America, and then corn in Mexico. So we're going to come back to this map in just a little bit because you're going to answer 2 questions about it, but we're going to go back to the PowerPoint real quick. So Çatalhöyük was a city that we discovered that thrived about 8,000 years ago in modern Turkey. The population was about 5,000 to 6,000, and they grew crops, raised sheep and cattle. They made pottery, wove baskets, traded valuable obsidian, which is like a black rock. And in 1958, we found the remains of this village. And we found loads of information that we could learn about this early group. This is an artist rendition of the city. And as you can see, there were no doors on any of their houses, which is actually kind of cool. It's kind of like a fort when we were little. Everybody had to use ladders to get up to the top, and their doors were on the top of their homes. That was used for defense because when they went to bed at night, they removed the ladders and then nobody could get up into their city. And that made it really, really easy for them to protect themselves. Here you can actually see the layout of what they have found of the remains of Çatalhöyük. And we also have found many, many different cave paintings. So it's a really short lesson today. All you guys are going to do is go back to Google Classroom under today's slide, Classroom. Use the map and the information on page 17 that I just showed you. It's loaded up there, and there's 2 questions at the bottom. Put them on a Google Doc, submit it to the map assignment, and then you're done for today. Pretty short day. I will see everybody tomorrow for a live Google Meet. We do have an entire class live tomorrow, so please make sure that you make it if you can. It's really important that you guys are there on the one day that we're live. See ya.